Hello guys, this is Cyberfear, and yeah, so recently on my streams and stuff I've been doing CSGO. When I do CSGO, I like to end my streams by doing some KZ while I interact with some viewers and stuff. But it's come to my attention that a lot of people don't actually know what KZ is, or know what's going on when I'm playing it, or how they can get into it. So yeah, I'm gonna produce this little series of videos where I give a full tutorial of how to KZ every single type of jump there is in KZ, and how anyone can get really good at it. Basically, that's what's gonna go down. And I've made myself a little list. And so this video, I'm gonna start off with the basics. So if you don't know anything about movement in CS or what's going on when I'm strafing the air like that, or jumping around the map, stuff like that. Yeah, I'll go into detail in all of these points. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, or like my content in any ways, please drop a like or subscribe if you want to come back and watch the next videos that I come out with. Anyways, let's get right into it. So, to begin with, what's showing on the screen right here. So in the middle there we've got distance, which is how far my last jump is. So that last jump I just did was 217 units. There we go. The air time is how long I was in the air for. So if I do that, that's kind of like an average air time, 0.7. Speed is how fast you're moving. So the normal moving speed is 250. That's the max you can do whilst running. If you strafe, which is what I'm going to come into next, you can boost your speed, which is how you gain a larger distance of a jump. We'll get into that. So, before we do anything, on the left there it says save location, teleport back, previous save, next save, undo teleport, pause, and restart. So this is when you're getting into a map and you've started it or whatever, and you've got jumps and you're slowly progressing. You want to save your location. Then if you fall off the map or at any point, you press 2 and you go back to your previous location. Basics, if you press 2 and you don't want to, you can press 5 and undo it. And then you got previous save, so you got this one, and then the previous one is this one. Pretty simple. You pause your time if you want to go away and do something, and you restart if you want to completely restart the run of a map. Right, that's all of what you're seeing on the screen right now. So I'm going to get on to the binds and stuff I use to do KZ and my sensitivity. So my sensitivity is, at the moment, it's 3 by typing a sensitivity here and then 3. And my DPI on my mouse is, I fluctuate a lot, I change it. It's between 1600 and 1800. I realise that's incredibly fast, but as you go through these videos and you learn what I'm doing, see what I'm doing on the screen, you'll start to understand why that's the case and why I've done that. Sorry, I've got to take a drink. Right, so, binds. I've bound scroll wheel to jump. That's the main thing you should do for CSGO in any case to get better. Even in MM and everything, everyone uses scroll wheel to jump. So to do this, just simply bind. Then you, no wait, I've got it in an auto. Ooh, that's something else I'll discuss actually. Auto execute. So I've got a config file where I've got everything bound. So I've bound my scroll wheel. I've bound. So scroll wheel up and down is to jump, and then I've also bound space, which is a special bind specifically for KZ, which basically it's called an LJ bind, where if you see there on the screen in the middle, it says duck and jump. So when I've pressed space, then I'm ducking and jumping at the same time. It gives you a bit more speed when you take off, and allows you to do longer jumps like that, like a 250. While I'm doing it, I'm holding space so that when I land, I'm holding crouch so I can go further. That's not done by all people who do KZ. A lot of people only use it when they press it. So they press it when they take off, and then they just press control to crouch when they land. But yeah, I like holding space because it allows me to get a few more strafes in there. Right, so that's all the binds down. Sensitivity. Right, let's get into all of the mechanics slowly. This is going to be basics. So I'm going to start off with strafing. So when you're strafing, what I mean by strafing is when you're jumping in the air and you want to turn right mid-air. You do this, so you look to the right in mid-air. That's the first thing. Secondly, you press and hold D. So there, when I held D and looked to the right, that's where my character moved. And if you also look at my speed, 296, it got to max. So that's just with one strafe, I've boosted my speed up 50 units per second, which is, yeah. So that's strafing. You can strafe left, you can strafe right, you can strafe alternatively, which builds up speed, which is going to bring me into the next mechanic of KZ, the long jump. So in KZ, it's kind of like you don't need to long jump, but in order to get good times and be consistent, you do want to learn how to long jump. So I'm going to teach you now the basics of doing a long jump. So you want to run up to a platform, the edge, and once you're at the edge, you want your speed to be 250, so the max. And then once you're taking off here, you want to strafe out and then back in again. So you want to go right, so D, then A, looking right and left with your mouse. A very important aspect of this is the sync. So left is yes, obviously D's left, then right. But when I'm doing it, you don't want to press D and then A and then move delayed. It needs to be a fluid motion, like that, nice and fluid. And then once you get good, you can do a long jump. So 250 there showed up and it said perfect. That's a very good long jump, and that's what everyone should be able to do if they want to yeah, enjoy KZ to the best. So you want to practice that. You spend hours and hours practicing it, but also running maps and stuff. It's really fun and really rewarding when you're able to get that 250 and everyone on the server's like, what? How are you doing that? Alright, so that's long jump. That's the first mechanic, along with strafing. So use the strafing to do the long jump. The next thing I'm going to talk about is B-hopping. Obviously, everyone's heard of B-hopping. You know, Foon, or you've seen pros do it in matches and stuff. But some people don't know, I guess. And I'm going to explain how my speed was 374 just then. So on the scroll wheel, what you want to be doing is scroll every time you land, just as you land. So you get the jump. So if you don't do this or time this properly, you'll lose all your speed and eventually slow to a stop. In order to keep this momentum, when you're doing it, you need to strafe. So I'm strafing to the right, pick up speed, strafe to the left when I land after I jump. Jump to the right, to left, to the right, to the left. And you alternate, and this builds up your speed. Alternatively, you don't actually have to do that. You do if you want to try B-hopping in matchmaking, I want to clarify, but in KZ, if you strafe in midair, you can get your speed like to 300 plus, whereas in MM, if you get it to over 300, it slows you back down to about, I think, like 220 or something, and then you can build back up to 250, because it prevents things like Foon, where back in CS 1.6 he would just B-hop all the way across the map straight to the spawn and kill everyone before them even realising. So yeah, so I'm B-hopping, combining it with strafing to build up the speed there of over 400, which is good. That's what you want to aim for. But yeah, on maps and stuff, B-hops are used kind of to link your run, and I'll talk more about that in detail in another video, to be honest. Okay, so the final point for my basics for KZ is going to be surfing. Surfing does appear in KZ because KZ is a combination of B-hopping, climbing and surfing. So I'm going to explain the mechanics of surfing just in case you haven't done it before, haven't heard of it. Basically, you get slopes and you hold in the direction of the slope, A or D. So here, the slope is on my left, I'm going to hold A, and then you can just slide down it. Then, in order to build up speed, you want to head down. So with my mouse there, I'm looking to the right, but I'm also holding A, so that builds up my speed on that ramp. With this speed build up, you can then transfer to that next one and progress. So this is actually a surfing map. Just so I could show, because it does appear on some KZ maps, not all of them do have it, but so you want that mechanic and you want to be able to transition between the slopes. Just a quick final point there to add, just to cover it basically, cover all the basics. And yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. Like I said, if you want to keep up to date, please subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed it, and see you in the next video. Peace.